Welcome back to Almost Engineering. If you guys are new here, we are building a 100 horsepower Power Wheels tank with 2 electric motors, and today we are mounting them inside of our custom tracks, which means we're gonna get to see how well our tracks work. So over the weekend, I finished the second set of tracks. This one is put together a little bit more solid, so we're gonna work with this one while we do our testing. The main thing I'm thinking about right now is our drive sprocket, with the way we made these tracks, only has contact with 2, sometimes 3 teeth on our main drive gear. And so some people brought up good points in the comments is as the suspension cycles, especially if all 4 of these collapse, we might lose track tension, which means our drive gear is gonna lose contact with the track itself, which might make it skip and break things. So before we move on and completely just assume the tracks are good, I really want to get this motor mounted and test to see how well they work. Now to take these tracks off. Detensioning is much easier than tensioning. Definitely gonna need a way to lock that mechanism then, because as I drive, this could just rattle and unthread and then it'll just shrink. Be free. Now we're gonna let this cool down and put it back inside of here, and then we can start figuring out how to mount this motor. I ordered a 1-inch shaft on Amazon, which is what this is. These 1/4-inch keyways don't fit in it, and when I measure it, it's 0.98 inches, which is exactly 25 millimeters. So Amazon's just lying about the shaft being 1-inch diameter. Look at it. It's just really annoying that these keyways don't fit in here. It's sloppy, but like when I get everything in there, it's pretty tight. So we got our rear sprocket mounted. It's welded in here, and then we got our keyways the whole way through. And then we mounted the sprocket the electric motor is gonna drive. As you can see, our electric motor doesn't sit in the middle of our frame rail. It's offset a little bit, which is okay. It's just a little bit hard to make it positioned. We could always make this sprocket bump out more, which means this slides out more as well. But the further away this sprocket is from the bearing on this backside, the more chance that we bend the shaft or cause any damage to the shaft because it's got more of a lever arm on it. So I want to keep this as close to the bearing as possible without running into the track that's going to sit up here, and also obviously making sure that it doesn't hit the bearing. So we just finished mounting this motor in place. We got this bracket cut out and then a smaller one on the other side. This motor needs to be mounted very rigidly because of how much power it's producing. This should do for right now because we're just testing to make sure it's gonna actually fit in there. We gotta put our track back on, and we wanna make sure that as the track spins and rotates, it doesn't have any issues clearing the motor. That being said, the other side mount is gonna be a lot more difficult to make, so I don't wanna go ahead and design all of that if this isn't where the motor's gonna stay. All right, I've got a very sketchy test setup here. The theory is I have these 2 pieces of steel lifting this off of the ground, so once I plug this motor into the controller and the battery, I should be able to see how well this spins. We have clearance for the motor, but it's not very much. It's only maybe 1/8 of an inch. Hopefully as this goes, it doesn't scrape the top of the motor. Hopefully, if it does, the motor is strong enough that it is self-clearancing, where it just rubs off the little bit of rubber here, and we don't need to make any changes because I really like how this motor sits in here. All right, so I'm just gonna start hooking everything up. So the only way that this goes really bad is if for some reason these jack stands or something falls while this is throttling and then catches the ground and just drives away by itself and rips all the wiring. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Should we move things out of the way?
No, I'm not worried. It's good. It'll go like 5 feet maybe.
Something about this setup just scares me.
It's definitely a little bit janky. This is not how it will be in the tank though. But I have to test, right? There's just too many unknowns with this to not test to make sure everything works before I continue moving on. Like if I build a whole frame for this, and then we go for the first test drive, and the sprocket skips, or the track is just bent in too many ways and this motor can't power it, or any other thing that I don't think about, then I'm gonna have to start from scratch, and I just don't wanna do that. If you're wondering why this kit is so muddy, see our Barbie scooter or our 3-wheeled golf cart. Okay, we have voltage, and so we'll be in low power mode. Oh God, please work good. It's barely clicking the throttle.
Oh my God.
That's low power. Watch how little I'm pushing the throttle.
Oh, I'm smelling burnt rubber right now.
We've got some rubbing.
Holy cow.
I don't think it's the top of the motor because there'd be hot rubber there. Maybe it's just it being broken in a little bit. Oh my God.
Oh my God, this thing is definitely gonna wheelie.
Yeah. That might be where we're getting a little bit of rubber smell.
Rubber on rubber.
Yeah, you can see that the maybe the alignment of these isn't perfect. So the inside of one of these wheels is catching. You can see there's a little bit of crease marking right there. You see that?
Yeah.
So we might need to scoot one of these over. I'm not sure which one. I'll examine it in a second. Oh, it's definitely this back one.
Holy shit.
That was a quarter throttle on low power mode.
Oh my God.
That is terrifying.
You look like you're contemplating your life right now.
Oh my God, it's so violent. You know, it'd be really cool if we made this into like a little bike,
Oh, that would be cool.
right?
Yeah.
Like a track bike, except it just takes away my entire groin. And there'd be no way to turn, it would all be leaning. I don't even think it's worth testing high power mode. So clearly we're not having any track skip. Like the sprocket isn't skipping over this track at all, which is really good. The smell of rubber has gone away, so maybe it did self-clearance a little bit, and that's good. Especially because we just ran it for a good like 30 seconds straight.
Oh, something popped off.
A set screw from one of these bearings up front. The bearings have these little set screws in them. Yeah, here it is. This is the one that's missing. It just fell out.
Okay.
So it fell out and then got hit in the track, and that's what we heard.
Okay.
So everything's fine. If you look at this right here, this is a shaft collar, and I wanted to put it on the inside of here to hold the disc brake, which is the idler pulley from going back and forth, left and right. And I think what's happening, I don't know if you guys could hear, is every now and then you'd hear a little clink, clink, clink. So what's happening is as the track goes around the idler, it's making the idler wander back and forth, left and right. And as it comes too far right, this set of bolts that's holding the idler together and the backside of this bolt are like clipping each other. I just need to mount that idler pulley in there in such a way that it won't wander left and right. And I was planning to do that with these sleeves, but there's not enough room for the sleeves. So maybe I'll just buy a little bit smaller ones, or I'll just tack it in place in a couple spots, and then I won't do that anymore.
All right, that's a pretty minor inconvenience.
This is like 1,000% a success. So I'm going against my better judgment, but I'm very excited. So we're gonna put the controller battery on top of this platform with the wheels, and we're gonna see how this thing moves across the ground. I feel like Iron Man when he tests the Mark II out for the first time. Okay, very, very, very light. We do not want to rip any wires. I'm gonna put it in reverse.
That is insane.
That's so cool. I can't believe how well it works. It works so good. Oh my God, I cannot get over how well this works. Now I need to build the rest of the frame in one day so I can drive this thing. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, this is the last one because I can tell that I am...
You're getting overzealous.
Yes.
I can tell too.
So cool.
Excellent job.
That is so
Excellent
cool.
job.
From my brain to right in front of me with one piece of paper in between. So you guys saw yesterday that we finished testing the one side of the tracks. The motor turned out really good, but we need a couple of donation parts from our three-wheeler. If you guys haven't seen this, we got some videos that are linked below of this thing driving, flipping, wheeling, crashing into a tree. So check that out. But we got to take this sprocket and axle out of here. So this is a custom swing arm I built for it. So I'm just going to drop these two Heim joint bolts, the shock mount, and then bring it inside and start stealing parts from it. Need the brakes from it. I got this master cylinder here, our disc brake, and then most importantly, we need this sprocket because this is going to drive the second set of tracks. It's a shame the three-wheeler was such a death trap because this thing was so sick.
Yeah,
It was such a cool build, but it was just like...
Scary as hell.
It was undrivable to the point where it was just way too dangerous to keep trying to drive it. Doesn't it look so good with both sets of tracks on it?
Yeah, it looks sick.
Yeah, I cannot get over how good it looks.
It looks angry.
It does look angry. And honestly, putting the cannon back on it did add a little bit of like an extra effect. So we're gonna leave that on there until we actually build the cannon. I can't wait to get the second set of motors, put it on there, and actually take this thing for a test drive.
It just looks so aggressive and angry. I
Well,
love it.
You know what's especially nice about this build, right? Is these tracks fit proportionally to the Power Wheels body. I can get in this, obviously right now because of how high up the body is, my feet go all the way down to the floor, but when we cut this seat out and I sit in there lower, I'm gonna have a ton of space in here. The motors are in the tracks, so all we need to worry about is the controllers and the batteries inside of here.
Yeah.
There's gonna be so much room for activities, but there's gonna be so much room, like I was saying, these tracks fit this body so well. With the other Power Wheels, or most Power Wheels online, you'll see that the suspension, when they add it, it's just like not quite proportionate. We had to extend the body of the F-150, which then makes the truck bed look kind of wrong, but these just fit it so nicely that we don't have to do anything like that, and it makes it look
like it could come like this.
Yeah, like you could buy this as an upgrade package, which is obviously like crazy to say, but it just works really well. And I'm so happy that the tracks work because this aggressiveness of this rear departure, I like it a lot. And I like how far the front comes forward. This is gonna make it so easy to go over like big obstacles. Like if you imagine a big like log or whatever, because this is on this angle, it's just gonna climb right up and over it. So the fact that we don't have to make any adjustments to the track is like a huge win. All right, let's take this apart. I really ended up mangling this thing. I had to cut the shaft off, smash it with a hammer, destroy a bearing. I thought it was gonna come apart nice, but basically the motor completely bent the shaft in all these different ways. So nothing was sliding off. Everything would slide maybe half an inch and then just bind because the shaft was twisted. So it had 3 bearings, 1-inch solid axle, and it just completely bent it all. So we have our sprocket. It has been freed and liberated, so we can move on to mounting the second motor. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount that second motor off camera. Next week, we are going to be actually starting to build the frame, connecting these tracks together, which is gonna be sick, because you're gonna get to see how beefy this thing is gonna be. We're gonna make it look like a real tank, apart from the Power Wheels, and we're gonna make it look really, really strong and aggressive. So if you guys like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.